People have come to me and they said, dude, you suck. You make this too easy. How am I supposed to feel proud of myself and it's so easy? Good, if it's easy, you'll do it and get results and life will suck even less. So what we want to do here with this first exercise is find a really easy way to plug into the subtle breath that's available in breathing meditation. Buddha's most famous, arguably one of Buddha's most famous texts, is the Anapanasati Sutta. And it's all about breathing meditation. And Buddhist breathing meditation is actually very different from Taoist and Hindu breathing meditation. So what we've done here is just make it effortless. So let's just explore what this says. It says, what could a longer, nose-centered breath feel like? And the great thing about a question is it gives guidance to your inner mind, to your inner viscera, to your inner computer, if you will, that makes it effortless to follow. And we can appreciate the power of a well-worded question by considering something really lame, really inept, really downright flaccid. And what I'm talking about are affirmations. How worthless is an affirmation? Imagine some poor schmuck is in traffic, stuck in traffic, he's late, you know, he's already on his boss's bad side, okay? He's stressing out. You know, he's grabbing his steering wheel with white knuckle intensity. And in an effort to control his destiny and choose what he feels, he uses the affirmation, I am peaceful and serene. I don't care how many times he recites it, he's not going to make him peaceful and serene. It might make him hoarse. It's not going to make him peaceful and serene. So I think most of us have experimented at least once in our life with affirmations. Some of us have even inhaled. We're talking about affirmations, right? But they don't work. They've been popularized for about 50 or so years, but they don't work. Even in the second Pink Panther movie, they used affirmations. Every day in every way, I'm getting better and better. And yet, Clouseau's boss was still trying to kill him. Didn't even work in the movie, so it must not work in reality. But a question, there's a part of our inner mind that goes berserk for questions. And, well, it's like Calvin and Hobbes. Have you ever read the comic Calvin and Hobbes? I'm not sure if you're as old and decrepit as me, but do you remember the first Calvin and Hobbes cartoon? I was in high school when it came out. The crust of the earth was still cooling. And it was just a few panels. And you see Calvin's dad bent over the car working on the engine. And little Calvin walks by wearing a pith helmet, a British pith helmet. And he's just as happy as a lark. Hi, Dad, I'm off to check the tiger trap. Tiger trap? Yes, I rigged one yesterday. God, what a macho word. I rigged a tiger trap. You know? So, I rigged it yesterday. What did you use as bait? Well, I used a tuna fish sandwich. You see, tigers can't resist tuna fish sandwiches. And the next frame, you see Hobbes the tiger hanging by his ankle, happily munching a tuna fish sandwich. And his thought balloon says, yeah, we're kind of stupid that way. So in the same way, there's a part of our inner mind that just wants to answer questions. It doesn't care if its answers are correct or incorrect or rational. It just wants to answer questions. So think back to something vulnerable, like, I don't know, your first crush, your first experience with unrequited love. For me, it was like in 6th grade. Perhaps you remember yours. Which grade were you in? 4th. And
I'm still waiting for it.
You're still waiting for it. For me, it was good old Terry Fink. And I used to come home from school in tears. Why doesn't Terry notice me? And that was a terrible question. That was a question my mind was happy to answer. Well, she doesn't notice you for 47 really good reasons. You're ugly. You're fat. You dress funny. Your hair is atrocious. And when I ran out of reality-based things, I just made stuff up. because of this Republican Congress, because of the color of the sky. It's just ridiculous. Aardvark, it just starts making things up. It doesn't care. It just wants to answer questions. Kind of like when you've seen those movies when someone's in a tennis court and the machine that's lobbing them tennis balls goes berserk and becomes like a tennis ball machine gun. That's the way that our inner mind is, wants to answer questions. So if you give it an assumptive question, it will influence it. And so if you ask the question, what could a longer, nose-centered breath feel like? It'll begin to explore that. And it doesn't matter what answers it gives, because there's two types of questions in the world. There are difficult questions and lazy bastard questions. These are lazy bastard questions because we don't have to answer them. All we got to do with this question is ask it and then relax into the invocation on the out-breath. Now, let's talk motivation. Why do we even want to do this exercise? Because number one, centering will increase your experience of being resourceful. Number two, it feels good. It can feel blissful. Now, is bliss the solution to all these problems? No. Now, after the bliss, the problem's still there. It's like a cat waiting outside of a mouse hole. Yes, little rodent, you thought I went away, didn't you? Mwahaha. No, it's still there. But this is going to make us more resourceful, physiologically and neurologically, so that we can apply the remainder of the techniques. So that begs the question, well, what are these odd syllables I'm supposed to recite in the out-breath? Well, that's the 6-syllable mantra, and there are many definitions of it. The easiest definition is that it is the way to invoke the blessings of the Buddha of Compassion. Now, here's the cool thing. Here's another reason why I am considered an evil bastard, controversial Lama. It doesn't matter what you believe. You can believe in the existence of the Buddha of Compassion or not. All that matters is this. We learn how to pronounce this correctly, receive the blessings of empowerment, we play with it. If you play with this twice a day, every day, and you get great results, then keep using it. If you play with this twice a day, every day for a couple of weeks, and you get no results or crap results, if you become such a cranky bastard that people call you Little Darth Vader, then stop using it. Come on, another technique. In fact, that brings us to a real good point. Just because I have a cool haircut and boss robes, you shouldn't believe a word I'm saying. There's only one test of a teacher in the Sutta of the Kali Ma's Dilemma. People approach Buddha and say, hey, we've got a problem. Every month a new Swami comes to town. They blow in, they blow up, and they blow out. They all teach different things. They all teach different techniques. They can only agree on two things. Everyone else is wrong, and they're right. So, Buddha, what do you say? What say you? How are we supposed to know which teaching and which teacher to trust? You know what they were expecting Buddha to say. Well, they blow chunks, but I'm a cool dude. You should listen to me. He was smarter than that. Instead, he gave him a laundry list, a list as long as your arm, of ways they wouldn't know which teaching to rely on. And he said, hey, listen, prestige, fame, popularity, worthless. They prove nothing. Logic, intuition, ridiculous. Logic and intuition brought you right here, in the middle of all your problems, into dissatisfaction with life. So clearly, logic and intuition are limited. There's only one thing you can rely upon. Receive the teachings, apply the teachings,